Hi guys, my name is Paige. I'm a licensed hairstylist in the state of Indiana, and today we are going to be talking about how to break up with your hairstylist. This is hard for a lot of people. I get a lot of questions on this, especially like in person, people who know me being a newer stylist and who maybe want to switch over coming to me. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. Breakups are hard, whether it is with your hairstylist, your doctor, your boyfriend, a friend who isn't very good for you, whatever the case may be. Even if the reason is good, it's still hard, especially because these people we interact with on a regular basis, we love them, right? Like, we come to care for them and to love them. We've built a relationship, and something like with a hairstylist type of relationship, it's not just like the doctor where we go in and they tell us whether we're healthy or not. It is a relationship that we share a lot of intimate details sometimes with our stylists, and they know about love stories and breakups and how many kids we have and the hard stuff of life, but they also share the happy events with us, like marriage, engagements, birth of new babies, whatever the case may be. Like, we hear a lot of things from our clients, and so we come to care for them and they come to care for us. So it can be a really difficult conversation. So I have 2 points. One is going to be a lot deeper and there's going to be a lot of questions. The other one is my least favorite option, but we'll talk about it at the end. So the first option is to determine your why. And as we get into this, always keep in mind that honesty is the best policy. I know we've all heard of that saying before, but it's true. Even in this situation, honesty really is the best policy. So what is your why? Are you moving? Cool, like, tell your stylist. Obviously, we understand that some people are willing to drive the distance to their hairstylist. There are people who fly in to see their hairstylist because they like him or her so much. That's awesome. Do that if you choose to, if that's something. I personally drive an hour to see my hairstylist because I like what she does, and we also are friends. Like, we met and then she started doing my hair after we already had a friendship, and so it's a nice time together anyways because we don't get that much time together living an hour away. So if you're moving, tell your stylist. That's obviously a big deal. That's a reason why you wouldn't come see somebody, and that's perfectly okay. Tell them that that you appreciate what they've done for them, but you're going to have to find somebody wherever you're going to be living at. Next, so what's happening? Like, do you have money issues? Is it the economy? Did you have an issue where you don't get enough hours? Did your stylist prices raise and you just don't have the finances to cover that? That's okay. We understand that. The reason our prices change is because we have to accommodate raising prices in the beauty industry, the products that we purchase, or as we get more experience, we take more classes, then our work is higher quality, so we have to cover all those extra educational courses to be able to continue to please our clients and improve our own skills. And we understand that. We know that when we raise prices, that there's a big likelihood that some of our clients can't come back to us, and that is sad, and it's an unfortunate aftermath of raising prices. But we also know there's people who can't afford those, so that they might have to go to another stylist. Here's another question that you really should ask yourself is, did my hairstylist mess up my hair? But I have 2 follow-up questions with this. It's not just did they mess up my hair, but was it a one-time occurrence, or is it something that has been consistently happening and I'm not pleased with the work my stylist is giving? If your hairstylist has been working on your hair for a long time and they've messed up one time, say even 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever, my advice, give your stylist a little bit of grace because we all are human. We are not going to give 100% consistent work. Yes, we strive for that. We strive to always make our clients pleased and that everything that we do that they really appreciate. But there are going to be times that your haircut's probably going to be uneven, or there's a little hint of a yellow stripe in your blonde highlights, or whatever the case may be. There might be something that's a little bit off, and that happens sometimes. There might be a bleed over from your foils. A foil might have slipped. Whatever the case may be. If it's just one time though, then I really urge you to maybe overlook that, or even mention it at your next service. Like, hey, the last time I came in, this side was like 1/4 of an inch longer and I really noticed it. Or like, the layering didn't seem as good as what it normally did. Or there's this patch right here, I don't really like it, so can we really, focus a little bit of extra attention right here? Whatever the case may be, just be honest, because I know as a stylist, I cannot fix it if you don't tell me that you're displeased with it, so please just tell me. Conversely, if your stylist is messing up multiple times on multiple occasions and it's a consistency that their work is not what you like, and you've given them a chance 3 or 4 times, say that they're a newer stylist to you, you give them 4 or 5 chances, whatever the case may be, and you're still not pleased, it's probably just not a good fit for you. Everybody has different specialties and different things that they really just kind of gravitate to and are better at than the other. And so if you don't like how a stylist does your haircut, then maybe it's time to go to another stylist, and that's okay too. There's hundreds, if not thousands of stylists probably, in a 2-hour radius of where you live. Find someone that you click with personality-wise as well as work. Because if the work is not something that it's consistently a letdown, there's no point in you spending the money or the time doing that. And I would also say with that, like if you've only been once or twice, you probably don't really need to have a conversation with that person, because I don't think I would consider somebody my client if I've only done their hair once or twice. It would be getting into when I'm getting return clients for color services, or if I've cut your hair consistently for like 6 months. Like if you're a guy who comes in every 2 or 3 weeks, I would consider you my client. If I've been doing a woman's hair for a year, every 3 months she comes in for a haircut, I'd consider her to be my client. If I've only cut your hair like once or twice and you were a walk-in and it just happened to be me on rotation when you came in, I wouldn't necessarily consider you my client. There's also several people in our salon who are loyal to the salon but not to specific clients. So we've all cut these people's hair multiple times over years spans, and so it might be the client of the salon but not my personal client. And as a reminder, I just want to reiterate this point that as a stylist, and I know a lot of the other girls I work with as well, and other stylists I know that don't work in my salon, they prefer for their clients to tell them if they're displeased, because if we don't know, we cannot fix it. So if it's something that's little, let me know. If it's like the whole shebang, you probably need a new hairstylist. But whatever your reasoning, honesty is always the best policy. I will always encourage that. So let your stylist know that you're displeased if it's a consistent stylist. Again, not if you're just a walk-in or if it's like a once or twice occurrence, but like you've been consistently going to someone and then like maybe they were good at first, or like your tastes have changed, whatever the case may be. Let us know, but also be gentle and kind and respectful. Don't just be like, your work sucks, because that's not nice or kind or respectful or gentle. I know that I cannot please everybody as a stylist, because either our personalities are not going to match or my work just isn't cut out for them, and that's okay, because my specific specialties are bridal beauty and blonding services. So if you're wanting to have this like artwork of vivid colors or darker hair or perms, I'm not as good as that. Can I do those things? Yes, I can, but it's not my specialty. So there's like hundreds of stylists out there that do those things better, that if you're wanting something really detailed and specific and you want the best of the best in those services, I'm not the stylist for you. Go to somebody else. I likely would have a list of stylists who are good at those things that I can recommend you to, but I'm not going to be offended if you're like, hey, I want rainbow baby lights everywhere. And I'm like, I can't really do that. It's not my specialty. I can do it, but it's not going to look as good as what, so many other stylists can do, when that is something that they do and that they love and that they took the extra courses and education on, that their clientele is full of those types of people. So they have that practice over and over and over and over and over again, where with my salon specialty being highlighting or balayaging and doing blonding services, I can consistently whip out that good work. And I might be better than some other people in the area, because those are the things that I specialize in. It's the things that I market in. It's the things that most of my days are full of, are those blonding services. I work with 4 other stylists at the hair salon that I work at, and one of them has been doing hair for over 40 years. And I took this to heart when she told me this at the beginning of my career. And she said, sometimes you are working with clients for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever the case may be, and you get in a rut. And I thought about that a lot, because she doesn't get offended necessarily when people go to other people. Would she miss them? Absolutely. But there are things that I can do that she cannot, and vice versa, of course. And so sometimes we get in a rut, as in like when you've been doing someone's hair for 20 years and they've had the same haircut and the same hair color, you don't necessarily give them a chance to be like, maybe I do want something a little different, let's switch it up. And instead we're like, oh, same thing as last time, great. And we walk back and we mix up the color, we come back and slap it on, and here you are with the same haircut and color, and I didn't really give you an option to change it. So if that kind of happens a lot, and it's not something, and if you're kind of maybe a shyer person where you're not like, hey, let's not do that, then maybe it's time to switch it up, even for a little bit, and that's okay. The final thing I want to talk about is what if somebody in my life, whether it is a family member, a friend, a coworker from the past, someone I met in college, somebody in my life that went to beauty school, fresh graduate, or in the first few years, and you want to go and support the beginning of their career because we don't make money, you know, if people are not in our chairs. So just be honest with that. Every single stylist has started out somewhere. Every stylist has, you know, been fresh in a salon with no clientele, and they have to build their clientele up somehow. And so they get it, they understand. So if you're just like, hey, my daughter, this person I go to church with, one of my really good friends, they're moving to the area, so they need to build a new clientele. They're fresh graduates from beauty school, so they need to build a clientele. And I want to be there to help them and support them. That stylist is going to understand because it's so hard to build a clientele in today's world, even though we have Instagram and stuff, because people see all this beautiful work from all these other stylists, and like, then you have all these options instead of just like walking in blind with most salons of what they used to do 20 years ago. So that stylist is going to understand. So just be honest, and they're gonna be like, that's so cool. You know, I had people like that when I started. Go for it. I fully support you. So that one's a pretty easy conversation to have. After you have that conversation, whether it's something easy like I'm just supporting a friend, or I'm not really pleased with the work that's happening right now, just make sure that you thank your stylist for the years or months of service that they've given you on your color, on your haircuts, whatever it is that they serviced you for. So just be like, hey, I appreciate so much the work that you've done and the hours you've put in on my hair, and thank you for listening to me, because a lot of times your stylists are there through the morning, through the happy, through the big life changes, and they listen to a lot of things, whether it's a new baby in the family or a marriage, or again, you know, any of the big life moments, good and bad. And so you really have built that relationship with them personally, not just like professionally. So let your stylist know how much you appreciate them as well, and leave the conversation on a happier note instead of just, hey, you're losing me, a note of, you might be losing me, but I'm so thankful for you. Your other option, if you want to break up with your hairstylist, is to just go absolutely no contact. I despise this option personally as a hairstylist for a couple of reasons. Now, disclaimer, if you're one of those who went to a stylist once or twice and you're wanting to go to somebody else, that's different, because I wouldn't consider that to be my client if I've only worked on your hair once or twice. But if it's been someone that has consistently come to me for months or years, I've had people who followed me over from beauty school, so I've been working on their hair for several years, and if they just go no contact with me, we build a relationship through the time that I work on your hair. And so I might worry about you, like, I hope you're okay, like health-wise, physically, whatever. And so I might worry about that, because after so long and you haven't come in when you have a pattern of coming in every 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever, I'm gonna notice that you're not there. So just so I know that you're like physically okay, I would like to have that conversation, even if it's a hard one, and that way I can wish you luck on the rest of your life and your journey with a new stylist. So that's the reasons I have. Again, don't prefer no contact. That's me. All of this is my opinion. Some stylists might have another opinion, and that's perfectly okay. So you also have to do what is right for you as an individual, as the client, as what you're capable of doing. And I prefer the in-person conversations, but some people might, you know, find your stylist on Facebook, or if you are with a stylist that does booth rent and she gives out her personal phone number, just text her or whatever. But I do personally like the face-to-face conversations, and whatever works for you, that's what you got to do, because it's your hair. So ultimately, whatever makes you feel the best about your hair is the best option. Whether it's staying with your stylist, going to a new stylist, that's what matters, because I'm here to service you. You're not here to service me. I hope that video was helpful. I know a lot of people have asked me just from messaging on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook how to break up with your hairstylist, and a lot of people asking me in person. So I hope this is helpful. I know it's kind of a lot of information and it might not be the answer you hope for, but honesty is the best policy. That's my motto when it comes to working with hair and with my clients. So thank you for watching, for supporting me and my little small business and my little journey into YouTube and TikTok, and I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't checked out my other videos, I do several tutorials with hair and makeup on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, so you can find more on the rest of my page, so go ahead and go look at that. You can also follow me, if you don't already, on my other social medias. My handle on all of them is Hair by Laura Paige. I make it super simple for everybody to find me, so just go on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, search Hair by Laura Laura Paige, I should be the only one there since, you know, you can't share handles. So I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. So friends, I will see you next time in the next video, and just remember that God has a purpose and a plan for your life. Have a great day.